Hi guys, Aaron here. Welcome back for another Body Club workout. Today's session is a Pilates class for recreational endurance runners. Today in part 4, we're going to be focusing on core and trunk conditioning. Training the muscles of the core as well as other muscles surrounding the trunk region can provide a great deal of support for your gait pattern. The ability to correctly brace the trunk helps to protect the spine. It also provides stability to the pelvis, which helps maintain optimal alignment through both the lower limbs and the spine. Training the core and trunk muscles stabilize the region, allowing forces to move more effectively and efficiently through the chain. This helps to prevent compensatory strategies such as overworking the muscles in the legs or in the upper body, and also helps us become more economical runners. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to start by finding a neutral position through the spine, and then we're going to load this through the anterior trunk, and then we'll move on to the sides and then the posterior as well. So we've got two small circuits to work through here. So let's come down to the floor, and you're going to lie down onto your back on a mat if you do have one, ideal. From here you're going to just arch your back up, and you're going to take your fingertips and slide your fingertips underneath your lower back. And then once your fingertips are just about touching the largest part of the arch of your back there, you can press your back down into your fingertips. We want a fair bit of pressure with the back onto the fingertips. Okay. Obviously the fingertips prevent the back from pressing into the floor, which would be flat, whereas actually your spine has a natural curvature to it, so the fingertips help you allow to keep that natural curvature of your spine. And we're going to keep the fingertips there for now, feeling a little bit of pressure with the lower back onto the fingertips. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to keep the pressure, lift one leg, keep the pressure, lift the other leg. Okay? So from here we're going to breathe in, I'm going to point my toes, I'm going to stretch one leg out, I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to pull back. Okay? Other side, inhale, stretch out, exhale, pull back. So all the time, whether I stretch my leg out or I'm pulling it back, the pressure is constant. And it's really important I inhale to stretch my legs out, just to create that intra-abdominal pressure. Now, if you would like to work a bit harder here, then you stretch your leg out and you bring it down. But the key is not to lose that feeling of the back pressure on the fingertips. Head nice and heavy, shoulders relaxed. And last one. And back in. Good. And release. And then we're going to take that, and if you're okay, we're going to progress that into a double leg stretch. So this time, I'm going to actually flex my feet back this way, knees over the hips, lying onto my back, and then I'm going to take a double leg stretch out and back. Again, as the legs stretch out, make sure the back doesn't arch off the mat. I want to be in a neutral position where I would imagine I would have my fingertips there this time. So we're training a bit of awareness this time without the fingertips there. Inhale, kicking out. Exhale, back. Harder option, out and lower, but make sure you can maintain that position. Easier option up, intermediate option out, harder option out and down. One more. And back. Good. Give your knees a little bit of a hug in towards your chest. Not much stretching in today's session. If you want to work on some mobility drills specifically for running, then you can check out the other video. Part 1 is on mobility. Okay, Coming round into a plank position again, looking for that neutral spinal position, and we're going to go toe taps to the side. So I'm going to find a low plank first on my elbows and a half plank onto my knees. My hips, it's really important the hips aren't pushed too high up in the air. So my shoulders over my elbows and my hips down about shoulder height. Lift the knees. Holding, really important I'm not rounding too much through the spine. Lengthen yourself out, keep your head up in line, try not to push your chin to the floor, back of your head pushes to the ceiling. Really important, we've got a strong position to work through. Bracing and then tap to the floor to the side. Tap. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good work, guys. Awesome. Moving on to the sides, into a side plank position this time. I'm going to give you two options. Slightly easier option, the bottom knee is bent. The top leg stays straight. We lift up to this side plank position, lower back down. Okay? Harder option. Feet are straight, stagger your feet, top leg in front, bottom leg just behind it, or bottom foot just behind the top foot. Make sure your elbow's directly under the shoulder, lifting up and then lowering down. Okay, 10 of these. So either option, really pull from underneath, pushing down through the feet, push down through the elbows, spread out the collarbones, create that good lift. Keep the head back in line with the body. One more. Great stuff. Spin it round across to the other side. Elbow directly underneath the shoulder. Top foot in front. Lift. And lower. Easier option. Bottom knee bent. Lift. And lower. Try not to hang around at the bottom. Just tap your hip. Hold for half a second at the top. Three to go. Good, really bracing. And that final one. Excellent work, guys. Good. Okay, and then we're going to take that, going back to the top. So that single leg lower this time, where we were before. A little bit of added coordination on this set. Knees bend up over your hips, toes point, arms up over your shoulders. Opposite arm and leg stretch out, breathe in, and exhale back to the center. So notice two limbs stay completely still. We're still focusing on holding that neutral position. If you're not sure where that is, just go back to putting your fingertips under your lower back and just carry on working as we did before. Inhale, stretch, drawing the abs in. Last two. Good. And release. If you remember the next one, double leg stretch. I'm going to add the arms in again this time. Perhaps a little bit easier to coordinate. Feet flex though, towards your shins. Knees over your hips, hands sort of press in towards the knees, but the shoulders draw back and push back into the floor. That neutral again, easier option. Up to about 45 degrees and back. Getting harder. Legs come and arms come further down. or all the way. But as you lengthen out, make sure you don't lose your neutral position. We're training a neutral spine. One rep to go. Awesome. Spin it round, plank position. We do those toe taps, same again. Up into that plank position, hold it. Tap to the side with the toes. Try not to rotate the hips too much. Keep them fixed, really well held. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. And then we're going into side plank position. Onto your elbow directly underneath the shoulder, either bottom knee bent or both legs straight. Lifting up to hold to that side plank position. Don't let your head push forward, bring your head back, really lengthen up, lift. Straight line, down, tap, lift. Straight line. Two and one. Great work, guys, good. Cross to the other side for those 10 reps. Elbow under shoulder, bottom knee bent, easier option. Lift and lower. One more. Well done. Good stuff. All right, and we're going to move on to a second circuit. Here we're going to be working quite obliquely across the body. So we're going to be working something called your anterior sling and then your posterior sling. Again, just really good way to stabilize your pelvis, your spine, and posturally working through the shoulders as well. When we're running, it may seem linear. Really, there's sort of 3 dimensions of movement, 3 planes of movement that you're going to be moving through. And it's really important to make sure you're challenging all planes of movement when you're doing your core exercise. So we're going to come down into an exercise called crossover. We're going to do 10 each side. So very much like we had before, we're going to have the feet pulled towards the shins. I'm going to have the fingertips behind the head. And then I'm going to bring hands behind my head. When I'm in this position, I don't want to be flopped onto the floor with my ribs cage flaring up, because here I've got a big arch on my back. So what I'm going to focus on is pressing the back of my ribs down into the floor. So if I were to put my hands under my rib cage, there's no space. There's only a tiny bit of space under the lower back into that neutral position we trained earlier. From here, I'm going to rotate up. I'm going to keep my left elbow on the floor. I'm going to pull my right knee in. I'm going to reach my right elbow and my left knee together. Good control. Other side for 10. elbow towards the knee. Don't just move your arm and just pull, crunching forwards. We're trying to get rotation, we're trying to keep length. So as I curl, I'm curling up and then pulling the knee in, not forward this way. Head should be quite heavy, so your neck's relaxed, and we can really focus on using the deep abdominals. 2 to go. Well done, guys. Really reach across, twist, and release. Excellent. Coming to the other side, spinning around, sorry, onto your hands and your knees. So this is a classical exercise called a bird dog. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Okay, and then from here we're going to add in a bit of spinal flexion at the same time. So I'm going to reach my right arm, my left leg up and out, and I want to make sure that back leg lifts up to extend the hips, get the glutes to lift the leg. Don't go so far that your back arches, and then reach the arm up as well. And then from here I'm going to lift my abdominals in, I'm going to forward flex, I'm going to pull my elbow and my knee together, and then I'm going to stretch all the way back out to straight. Breathe in, exhale, pull together. Inhale, stretch. You want your arm to go up to shoulder height, and you want your leg to go up to hip height. Lifting in those abs, back to straight, pull and release. Always makes me sweat, this exercise. Maybe it's just a lot harder than it looks. All right, and again, so in this position, making sure you're not too rounded, you're not arched through the back, neutral position, and then stretching away to a straight line, lifting in through the abs, pull the abs up, push through the floor, and elbow to knee. Back out, exhale through, 2. Good. Nice work, guys. Then we're going up into a V-sit, adding a twist. So from the floor, my legs straight. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to roll up. I'm going to hold this position. My femurs, so my legs, my arms, will be around about 45-degree angle, sitting up. Twist to touch the floor, back to the top. When you've done 6, roll back through your spine, straighten your legs out, arms overhead. We're going up again. Peel the spine off the floor, lift the legs, sit up and out of the pelvis, twist. Reach the arms up, twist. 2 to go. Good. And back. Got 1 more of those to do. Lifting up into that V-sit. If you're really struggling, easier option, curl up. Keep your feet on the floor. Twist with the legs down. Keep the lift. Good. And then back. And release. Excellent work. 2 more to go from here. Higher plank position this time. Like a press-up position. And then we're doing these Spider-Man planks. So my knee's going to come up and out towards the elbow. It's going to help to open and mobilize the hip while strengthening core muscles as well at the same time. Hands under shoulders, as well as hip flexors. There's a lot going on with this one. And shoulders. From here, my knee's going to come up and around to the side. See if you can get the knee to touch the elbow. Don't worry if you can't quite. Keep the foot and the knee high. You're going from a neutral position into a little bit of flexion. And release, sit your bum back to your heels, good. We're going to come up into a bit of spinal extension, just squeezing between the shoulder blades. Lying onto your front, point your toes. Tailbone lengthens under, pubic bone pushes into the floor. Arms to the sides. Lengthen and lift the back of your head towards the ceiling. So we're not pushing the chin forwards, craning the neck. We're lengthening. Imagine the crown of the head's being pulled forward. Lift the upper back slightly. Don't have to go too high. It's really important we anchor ourselves. Little bit of activity through the glutes. Don't have to squeeze them to death. Lift your chest, and then we're going to pull the shoulder blades together. Squeeze those elbows back and down, and then lower. Really nice postural movement here. Let's make sure we're not overworking the lower back. By getting that, if you watch the difference here of me lengthening the tailbone under, that way I can confidently lift. Really pulling those elbows back and down. Three to go. Well done, guys. And pull, and then we're going to sit all the way back and down, bottom to the heels, grip the mat, round off. All we're going to do is work through that circuit one last time. So back into those crossovers, lying on your back, fingertips behind the head, neutral position through the spine. Watch out for the ribs flaring. Curl up, elbow to knee. Really trying to rotate across the body. Can even push down a bit through that left elbow. Flex the foot. Three to go. Good. 10. Other side. 1. Across the body, lift. 2. Up towards the ceiling. 3. Feel that strong exhalation on the way up. Really good. Spinning around into that bird dog position. Adding the spinal flexion from here. Reaching the left arm, the right leg out. Straight line, hold. Lift the abdominals, squeeze the elbow and the knee together back to the top. Pushing down through the knee and the hand. Inhale through the nose, exhale through pursed lips. And 10. Good work, guys. Back into that neutral position. If you're feeling that in your lower back, you might be lifting your leg too high or overarching. This isn't about lifting really, this is about creating length, so we're stretching out. So just make sure your pelvis is in position as you stretch out, don't overdo it. And then lift the abdominals in, forward flex, elbow to knee, stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent work, guys. Really nice stuff. Up into our V-sit. Lying onto your back, point your toes, arms stretch up over your head. Flexing up through your spine, roll up, lift the legs, and twist. 2, keep that chest up, lifting out the back of the pelvis. 2 to go. 6, as your arms go up, don't hunch the shoulders, nice and relax through those shoulders. Right, let's go, 2 more. Up, 6 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great stuff, guys. Back. Final 1. Let's go again. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great stuff. And control back down and release. 10 of those Spider-Man planks up into a high plank position, and then finishing off with those skydivers. Hands underneath the shoulders, lift, brace, and out to the side. Knee comes high. And release, back and down. Good stuff. And then finishing off with those skydivers. From here, pelvis lengthens into a little bit of a tilt back, so your tailbone feels like it's lengthening under and your abdominals pull up off the floor. Reach through your toe tips. Imagine you're going to stretch through your toes to create this anchoring effect through the pelvis. And then we're going to lift, pull. Don't have to go too high, don't overextend. It's more about getting those arms pulling back, squeezing the shoulder blades together and downward away from your ears. A little bit of lift through that upper back. Could glide the shoulder blades. Hands go high as well. We can do 5 more of these. Pull, lift. Good stuff, guys. Excellent. Well done. So remember today that was core and trunk conditioning. So obviously within Pilates, especially the requirements for endurance runners, there's a lot of other qualities. So this is part 4 of a series. So if you haven't already, check out parts 1 to 3 as well. And enjoy, provide some feedback, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers, guys.